in Scottsdale, Arizona, to take you through the kettlebell basics. This is a brand new piece of equipment that LifePro has just brought to the marketplace, and I am over the top in love with this system. The Triform weight training system. It's a 3-in-1 system, which gives us our barbell, a dumbbell, and a kettlebell. So if you caught my kind of a sneak preview workout on Sunday, I showed you how the kettlebells, the barbell, and the dumbbell all are put together. It was just a little demo. And primarily, I showed you the workout with the barbell and the intense flex. So today, I thought it would be super important to go through a kettlebell basics with you, because there are 6 primary moves that we all need to have down pat before we get the best workout and the most advantage for our workout. The kettlebells are one of the oldest forms of fitness equipment in history. They date back to the ancient Greeks. So we'll talk a little bit more about the benefits, but let me just dive in quickly to show you how I'm going to go from the barbell setup, which I already have, to the kettlebell system. Now, in the next couple weeks, I'm going to be going through different workouts using the kettlebell or the barbell or the dumbbell or all 3 with different pieces of equipment. I'm going to be using the glute blaster, and I'm also going to be using the Roman chair, the sculpt trainer, the multi-purpose chair. And those are great pieces of equipment. But the cool thing about kettlebell is you don't really need any other equipment but the kettlebell, because you're going to use your entire body. So if you are new to LifePro, welcome aboard. This company has amazing products for wellness, for endurance, for recovery, for strength, so many pieces of equipment. And I have the honor and privilege to take the LifePro family through many, many workouts, whether it's on vibration platform or in other pieces of equipment. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them on the chat. I will try to answer them as I'm going along. Again, this is just a basics. It's not going to be a workout. I'm going to explain to you how to exercise with the kettlebell. Now, I have been in the fitness industry for over 25 years. And I haven't done a lot with kettlebells until most recently. They've been around for a long time. I've done a lot of weight training, a lot of barbell training, and kettlebell is very nuanced. And so I'm excited that I've actually got one in the studio now. And the beauty of our LifePro kettlebell is that it is adjustable. So we don't need several kettlebells, just like with the Power Flow weights. All the weights, just a convenient little stack, and we've got them all. So let me just kind of quickly go through this. I hope that you can see what I'm doing. So I've got the whole barbell system already set up. And the barbell system itself goes from 4.5 pounds to 43 pounds when I got a full rack. And the dumbbell is 3 to 40 pounds. And the kettlebell is 2 pounds to 21 pounds. So whether you are a beginner or you are a seasoned professional kettlebell exerciser, we've got you covered. So some pretty good weight, 21 pounds. So what I'm going to do is I've got it to the lightest weight, which is on the barbell, 4.5 pounds. And I'm going to, there's these great little safety pins that we pull out. And they really do come out easy. I'm just nimble fingered here. And then we're going to slide a unit out. So there you go. I've got the unit. And then I'm going to go ahead and place, oops, I got the wrong thing. This is for the barbell. I'm going to place the kettlebell handle onto the end unit. I'm going to line up the holes. And then I'm going to show you how easy this is. Okay, so I'm lining up the holes, and there's these safety pins there, okay? Or safety pegs, if you will, safety pins. And sliding them in. There's one. They hear that little pop, and then here's the other one. Okay, so I've got the unit right there. And you can see on here, it will tell you all the different increments of weight, okay? So what I'll do is I'm going to set things aside so I have some room here. I'm going to go ahead and put the kettlebell in, and I'm going to load it up. So I'm going to load it up to the whole 21 pounds so I can take it out of the rack. Now, let me just kind of rearrange the furniture a little bit. So I'm going to move everything off to the side. And the best way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to take these weights out. And move them to the side. And just move everything out. Okay, so there we have it. Pretty easy, right? Just that I just got my 21 pounds right here. Okay, so this is the kettlebell at its full height. Now, I can always put it back in the track, which I will do right now. And I'm going to load up. Oops. I say this and now I want to make sure you guys can see me here. Place it in the rack. And then I'm going to go into about, oh gosh, I think I'll just go about 10 and a half pounds. Okay, so this is pretty light. Now, let me just talk about a little bit about the kettlebells and why we want to use them. Like I said, they're one of the oldest forms of fitness equipment in history, dating back to ancient Greece. Full body, low impact workout, strengthens and improves muscles and cardiovascular health. Now here the key is there's several benefits about kettlebell training, and I want to talk about why you want to consider this because you might be very new to this. One of the first things that stands apart from kettlebell training is that it builds muscles and strength like any other type of resistance training, but you have a lot more body awareness, and this is key. And I'm all about posture and form when it comes to really developing the best strength and endurance in your muscles. So good body awareness, good movement skills at the same time, and then you can transfer all this awareness to any other type of exercise you're doing with any Life Pro products or other fitness products, okay? So whether you're an athlete, you're brand new to fitness, it's all about body awareness, so we can't emphasize that enough. So what's nice about kettlebells is that they offset loading, and it ensures that you're going to have to use your core. When I say core, your whole back, your glutes a lot more. So if you don't activate your entire core, it's going to pull you out of alignment. So that's pretty important. You know, the kettlebell's handle is slicker and less accommodating than dumbbells. So it's going to rely on a lot more form and grip strength for you to clamp down harder. So keep that in mind, okay? It's super important that you understand that you're just not swinging things around. Several years ago, I was messing around with kettlebells and I did them incorrectly. Let me tell you, I literally threw my back out. Okay, and I'm pretty strong and I have a pretty strong back, but it can happen. So you've got to be very, very conscious of your movement. Efficient, versatile, without a lot of equipment. You just have your kettlebell, which I put in here. Just have your kettlebell. You know, this is all you really need to get the job done. And then you can go maybe into different increments depending on what you're doing. So today I'm going to demo with 10 and a half pounds. I may go a little heavier. But again, this is a demo for form. It's not a workout. So as I said before, one of the reasons why this kettlebell workout is so effective, it works everything. So you don't need to think of, did I do my biceps? Did I do my triceps? What about my shoulders? What about my glutes? You're going to be incorporating all the muscles in a well-balanced workout, okay? So today I'm going to show you 6 movements, and I want to cover them all, and I want you to practice these. So as soon as you get your Triform, and I'm going to put the link in the chat box. As soon as you get your Triform, you want to make sure that you check this basics out and practice it. You might even want to practice it without the kettlebell, because super important. The first one we're going to talk about is the single kettlebell deadlift. Now, we got to understand the difference between the deadlift and a squat. The deadlift is a hinge. The squat is more sitting down. Hinging is very functional in everyday life. You're working the posterior chain. You're going to be working your low back. You're going to be working your glutes, your hamstrings. So I'm going to demonstrate without the kettlebell first, okay? And then we'll go further. So the stance is about hip distance, right? You're going to have soft knees, okay? So I'm just going to think about unlocking my knees. And I want to have an open chest, proud chest, however you want to cue it. So you want to think that. Then you want to think that there's a rod from head to tail. And what you'll do with that soft knees is you're going to hinge as far as you can over, okay? Only as far as your hips will let you go. If you start dropping through your back, you've gone too far, okay? You drop your chest, you've gone too far. So that roundness, you want to keep the back flat. You're going to use those glutes and squeeze to come upright. Now, also be very careful, because you do not want to hyperextend and throw those hips forward. You shut your glutes off completely. Now you're into your low back, okay? So let's talk about that. So what I'm going to do is show you with the kettlebell now. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to show you from the side, right? I'm going to put that kettlebell right between my big toes, in line with my big toes. I'm going to have some soft knees. Oh, just realign it there. Soft knees, okay? I'm going to hinge from the hips. Now, if I can't reach it, I'm going to bend my knees more, okay? And then I'm going to come up. So this is just my hinge. I'm soften knees, karate chop the hips back, lock my shoulders in, and I'm going to hinge down, and I'm going to come up, squeeze. Now I'm going slow. I'll show you a little more thrust in it. Hinge and squeeze. This is the inhale and exhale. Okay, nice and proud chest. Breathing in, driving through the heels up. Down and up. So I've got the hinge going, the knees going, back flat. Now, if you can hinge more, and I can take it all the way down, and I'm going to drive it up. More glute, okay? So that's the deal. You want to make sure you're hinging, not squatting. Now, I can tell you right now, my heart rate went up doing about 5 of those. So when you bend your knees and hinge, you just want to make sure that you're very cautious. You're not rounding. I'm going to emphasize that a lot, because if you're rounding your neck and shoulders, it will affect your low back. Okay, shoulders in the pockets, soft knees, karate chop, and hinge as far as you can. Squeeze the glutes and stand tall. Okay, so I started here. I'm going to hinge to my deadlift and then squeeze to come up. Okay, that is our deadlift. Now, avoid the spinal flexion and you're good to go. The next one is our kettlebell squat. So I want you to feel the difference on this. Now, if you are a person that tends to come over the knees, make sure that you have, you might want to even invest in our squat wedges. They're a great piece of equipment to help you with your squats. Let's go a little bit without kettlebell first, and then we'll use the kettlebell. So what I'm going to have you do, pause this. So what I want you to think about, you're going to be a little bit wider now, okay? I was a little bit more narrow with my hinge. I'm going to go a little wider. I'm going to turn my toes out. This is an extra rotation, all right? Now, I'm thinking about my heels are down, and I'm rotating a little bit, corkscrew, if you will, so I don't drop my knees in when I'm squatting in, okay? We talked about this when we did the intensiflex. We don't want to have that happen. So from the side, right, I'm going to think that there's a chair there, soft knees unlocked, proud chest, and I'm going to sit back as far as I can go with a flat back. Now, if you go too far, you start tucking under. It's called a wing butt, right? Then you've gone too far. I can drop down pretty far. My knees are over my toes, and then I come back up. Okay, that's the difference. We don't want to squat down and come forward. Too much stress on the knees. We don't want to round our back. So Again, the squat wedges are great to help you if you're new to squatting efficiently and effectively, correctly. If you have tight ankles, definitely check that out. Okay, I have a lot of my clients using that. So you want to really feel the shoulders are apart. You want to imagine that that chair is behind you. And what we'll start with, I'm going to start with my the kettlebell. Actually, I'll do this a little differently now that I think about it. Take a yoga block, because a lot of times this depends on your mobility and your flexibility in your joints. So let's take the yoga block, okay? And we're gonna rest our kettlebell on it. I think I can rest it. Yeah, there you go, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna rest it on there. That way I'm bringing the floor toward me. So now I'm gonna create a diamond or a triangle. The kettlebell and my feet. Okay, that's my first diamond. Then I have a second diamond, which is the pubic bone to the toe. So I think 2 diamonds. So with the squat, what we're gonna do is, I've got this diamond shape, right? I'm gonna hinge forward, come back, right? And then I can pick up, I'll show you the load, how I'm gonna load up here, okay? I'm gonna pull pull the kettlebell back. I'm gonna lock my wrists in place, weights in the shoulders in the pockets, and then I can drive up. Now, once I'm here, I can put the kettlebell at my chest, right? Then I'm gonna go ahead and squat down and press up. Another option, I can take this kettlebell upside down, okay, at my chest, and I can squat back and drive up, okay? So just think, extra rotation in the thighs and femurs, and drive up. Hips go back, knees soft, and drive up. Okay, so that's gonna be a little bit about how I'm gonna go into my kettlebell squat, sending the hips back, and I wanna make sure that I'm externally rotating my thigh bones. I wanna avoid my knees caving in. Like I said, corkscrewing the heels in the ground will avoid the knee caving in. So once we have the idea of squatting with the kettlebell and hinging with the kettlebell, then we can move forward on other exercises. Again, long spine. So if you've been with me on some of the videos, the sculpt trainer has the hip extension ability, and that's going to help strengthen your back. The glute blaster also helps you squat better. So if we just put our kettlebell on our chest, push our hands together, and we use the breath work here, we inhale back. Okay, inhale, 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 and exhale, power up. Now I'll show you from the front. Okay, I'm going to inhale back, those knees are not caving in, and exhale. Now that I've done that, the single kettlebell hinge is the next thing we want to talk about. It's also, I'm going to show you what I'm going to call the chest supported swing. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold the kettlebell at our chest again. Okay, I'm going to hold it at my chest wide, and then I'm just going to do the hinging. Okay, I'm just going to hinge back because I want to make sure I understand my hinging. Okay, this, guys, is kind of a basic exercise I want you to think about. Okay, third exercise is a single kettlebell swing. You know these guys, there's this thing where it's swinging up, but before you even start swinging, please, I'm going to really emphasize this. Do the kettlebell with the supported chest swing. So I'm going to hold the kettlebell. The bottom is in, okay, toward my chest. I'm going to send my hips back. I'm going to drive through my heels, and then I'm going to squeeze, okay? Practice those a lot. Understand those, because once you do those first and get the idea of hinge with some weight and glute, then we can go and start throwing this thing around. And I'm kidding when I say throw it around. You're really not going to throw it around. You're going to make sure that you are really activating your core for this. So there, I went back to my triangle here, right? I'm gonna put my kettlebell on the floor. And that what I wanna do is I'm gonna hinge back, right? So I've got this triangle. I'm gonna hinge back. I'm gonna grab onto the handle and I'm gonna lock it. I'm gonna snap my wrists. So I'm snapping so I'm not rounding my wrist. Snap my wrist, locking my shoulders. Now, what will happen is I'm gonna do this without weight first. When I lock in place, I'm gonna let that kettlebell swing or drive back, and then I'm gonna come up. Okay, I'm gonna drive it back and come up. So I'm not using my arms on this, it's all glutes. You wanna go to the highest point of the triangle, the pubic bone. So there's my triangle, heel here, and my triangle there. So think 2 triangles. Be fully aware, be fully present, full body. This is cardio at its finest, and it's gonna be working the posterior chain, okay? Do not pull on the arms. I wanna make sure that you know that the power is behind you, that the power is going through your body, and you're gonna bring that weight up to eye level, okay? The kettlebell floats, and it comes down on its own. And once you receive it, you drive your hips forward, but you gotta squeeze though, okay? So let me just demo that real quickly. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna do one at a time, one arm at a time. So I'm gonna hinge from my hips, soft knees, proud chest, okay? We're gonna go ahead and kind of hinge from the hips here. I'm gonna find my kettlebell. I'm gonna lock it in place. Actually, I'll do it with both hands first. Lock it in place, right? Chin in. So I'm gonna drive it and swing. It floats up. Hinge it back. And I'm gonna be done. Okay, so that's my 2-handed swing. Now I can do it with one arm, and I'm just gonna demonstrate that. Once you're comfortable with the 2-handed, then you have the single arm work, okay? So here we go. I'm gonna start with toes out. I've got my diamond. I'm hinging from the hips. Now, when I go to my deadlift, if I can't go any further, I bend my knees to lock in place. Okay, so what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna lock, and I'm gonna drive it back and up, and back and up. And release. Okay, so I put my arm behind. Some people do it in front, whatever feels comfortable for you. And of course, make sure you do it to both sides. Whew, I should have put my heart rate monitor on. That is so cardio. It's amazing. So remember, you've got to squeeze at the top. Okay, so if you have any questions, put them in the chat. Okay, the next one is the single kettlebell clean. Now you've heard about the clean and press, the clean and jerk. This one's gonna really focus on upper body, core, and it's unilateral, very unilateral. There's several ways to clean, okay? We've got a swing clean, and we've got a vertical clean. I'm gonna explain the two. The move initiates the same way. We thrust through the hips, but what happens now is once that kettlebell comes up, I'm gonna bend my elbows, and I'm gonna turn my thumb to face my elbows. So this is kind of a funny little way to think about this. So when you come up, you want to watch your wrist. Okay, you don't want to bend through the wrist. You want to be able to, I'm going to just show you the elbow here. When you come up, so you've come from your hinge, right? You're going to use the glutes, elbow in, and you're going to scoop it around. And it's kind of like a hitchhiker moving away. Or you're taking your hand and you're turning it around, okay? But I'm always keeping my elbow in place. There's my bicep work there. Tricep, bicep, shoulder, okay? Makes sense? I'm gonna go a little bit lighter on this just to demo. So let me do a quick little change here because I can, because it's adjustable. And I'm gonna go into, that was 10.5 pounds. I'm gonna go to 8 pounds, okay? So we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna just do the hinge, the swing and clean, Let me show you from the side here. Okay, so I'm going to put the kettlebell on. I've got my diamond shape, right? Soft knees, open chest, core engaged. We're going to hinge from the hips, and then I find my kettlebell. I'm going to snap my wrist so I'm in place. So what's going to happen is I'm going to hinge, and then I'm going to come up. Okay, so it was up, and that was with the swing. Okay, so once again, I'm going to snap in place, lock my shoulder in place. I'm going to bring it to the pubic bone and turn. Now, that's the swing clean. It's a little bit more if you're not used to that hip hinge. So there's a clean, a vertical clean. And I kind of like this one for us in the beginning because I want you to get used to it. You've got your kettlebell, right? You're going to go ahead, and all we're going to do is initiate the same way. We're going to go ahead and we're going to spiral up and down. Now I'm going to have soft knees. I'm going to spiral and clean. Okay. So think squat here. Okay. Let me re-cue you on that. So I'm going to squat down. So if I start here, okay, I'm going to come up to, that's not a good angle. You can't see me with my knees. I'm going to go into my squat. I'm sitting back. Okay. I'm going to bring, and actually I'll bring the weight in between me. I'm going to come up vertical and I'm going to shift. And let me show you on the side. You're not even seeing that, the correct side. I'm really left and right-handed, but for some reason I want to demo right today. So, okay, line up between my toes. I'm going to take my squat. I'm going to press up and swing. That's all I did, right? I come down, I press up and swing. It's just a vertical. Now, once I've got that, okay, then I'm going to add my press to it. I'm going to press up. But first, let's talk about that. Before you literally press up, okay, you want to make sure, because this is our another thing when we talk about the vertical clean. The bell is under me, and my hips go back and up, right? My thumb points. But now, when I want to go into my press, which is going to be a little different, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we're snapping the wrist at the belly, and we're going to press up. Before you press, reach your arms to the sky. If you find that you're bowing or your arms are coming up here, you're rounded, and you can't keep your body straight, you can't come to a full reach up, okay? Core engaged, ribs engaged, shoulders down. If you cannot lift your arms up, there's no sense in you doing a shoulder press with a kettlebell. I'm going to tell you right now, you shouldn't be doing any shoulder work. If anything, your press, okay, if anything, your press will be, sorry guys, I got to keep adjusting something. Your press is going to be just a little move. Elbow over shoulder. Okay, that's all I want you to do for right now. And I wouldn't do a kettlebell. I would probably do a dumbbell. The kettlebell takes a lot more wrist strength and forearm strength, and I don't want that to be waving around and affect your shoulder joint. This is my opinion on that. So you're going to go ahead in a press and reach all the way up and all the way down, okay? Now, you can do this with one hand or two. I'm going to show you first the easier way, meaning one kettlebell and two hands. So I'm going to go ahead and lift up my kettlebell. I'm going to put the hands on either side of the horn. The kettlebell is at my chest. Soft knees, and I'm just going to drive it up and down. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. Drive it up and down. Okay? That's the first option if you don't want to go to a swing. Otherwise, we're going to really check to make sure we can clean it up first, all right? We're going to go into lock it down, we're going to hinge, and we're going to clean it up and then press and down. So I'm going to go ahead and swing and lock and clean and then press. Now you can just stay with the press up and down, a little press up and down, thumb is pointing, that might be your option there. So that's the third place to go. So guys, review this, take your time with it. Remember, check your shoulder mobility, spine is straight, clean it up first. And when I clean it up, I come in, I go from this move, right? I clean it up, I scrape around, and I press. I go from this move to this move. So I'm here, and then I push up. Here and push up. Practice this without weight so you get the idea of the rotation in the shoulders. Now, if you're not ready to do a clean and press yet, two other basic exercises I want to talk about. And one's called the slingshot. And you might want to just play around with this as a warm-up. I think it's a pretty cool warm-up. You're going to start with the kettlebell at your front, knees soft, and we're just going to let that kettlebell swing around. This is a great core exercise. You're going to feel your obliques, your glutes. I'm going to go around 10 times in one direction. Breathing. And this is only, for this one, I've got 8 pounds. I could probably go much heavier on this, and then you're going to reverse it around. This is called the kettlebell slingshot, okay? I'm just taking it around. So I'm getting that mobility for the shoulders, the back, the glutes. Yeah, it's pretty good, right? And then the second one I want to do is the halo. Okay, in the halo, what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to hold that kettlebell at my side. I'm going to bring it over my head, and I'm going to come around and around. So the handles are at the bottom to my chest. I bring one elbow up behind my head and bring it around, and then you can reverse it around. Watch your wrists on this. This is all about a strong grip, strong forearms. I love this one, especially if you're a golfer or a tennis player. Great for your shoulder mobility. And if you're new to this move of halo, maybe get a towel and start doing with the towel first. Having it at your side elbow. You'll see in many of my workouts, I have your hands at the top here, and we just do little halo circles. Then you could add on to that, holding here and taking up and around and up and around. The whole idea is you want to get behind your head. There's your stretching your pecs and opening up the chest. There's a lot of information, I know, guys. I only like to do about 30 minutes. So if you're not familiar with any of these moves, practice them. But my main message to you today is, even though you have been weight training for a while, I want you to practice with no weights, light kettlebell weight, and then go heavier. And then follow me, because next Wednesday, we're going to be doing a full body workout. I'll be using kettlebell, I'm going to be using dumbbell, and barbell from the Triform system. Triform meaning 3-in-1 piece of equipment. Right now, it's retailing for $279.99. I know on Sunday there was a 15% discount, $239.99, and it might sound like a lot, but when you think about what you're getting, incrementals of weight in the from 2 pounds to 43 pounds is a pretty good span of weight in 3 different carriers, if you will, 3 different modes: kettlebell, dumbbell, and barbell. Someone said on one of the Facebook pages, what would I do with a single dumbbell? Well, you know what? I love unilateral work with dumbbells. I love it with kettlebells, because you're going to work a lot more core, a lot more glutes, a lot more instability. So don't underestimate the power of one dumbbell. And then you have your barbell to do too. Okay, so it's great. The other nice thing about the dumbbell is that you find out, oh, this side might be nice and strong, and this side kind of weak. I'm using my neck more. And then you can improve your technique. So when you go into barbells, the strong dominant side doesn't take over. Okay, guys, that's all I got for right now. I have no workout for you to put in the chat, but I will put those 6 basic exercises that we talked about. I want you to practice your hinges, right? You're hinging down as far as you can go and up. I want you to practice your squatting down and coming up. Those are the foundations for many other moves, and everything else will be bells and whistles from that. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have an amazing, amazing rest of your week. And if you're watching this on video, again, if you've got any questions, just private message me. You can also email me directly, info@livefit, LIVFITT.com. I am happy to answer questions. I can do a quick little Zoom with you to see your form. If you're struggling with something, don't hesitate. I'm a part of the team. Amber, Debbie, and I are here to help you guys because we want you to have the best possible experience so that you can live fit and age well. Bye for now. Have an amazing day.